Alright, today we got the no-nonsense guide. Everything you need to know about fusion equips in Grand Summoners. And I'm already on Area 129 after like 3 days, so like, I'm a pro. Trust. I know everything there is. Alright. So first thing, records. Make sure you do these. This is where you get all your rewards. These rewards are crazy. There's a couple unique and common Mystica you can get in here. I don't think there's any common, but there's a bunch of unique like this right here. This is really good. Or maybe that might be the medium one. But make sure you get your records, and then second, the EX boss. The only exclusive thing in here is these astral glyphs. These are really good though because these are like the auto-filling arts gauge, I think. And make sure you use these. These are OP. All right, and then I'm gonna go over everything you should be exchanging. I would not do any of these. You get a ton of these just by fighting the bosses. The Mystikas do these last. The first things you should be buying is these right here. The AP pots, the stamina drinks, the stable drops, and the discreet Mystica. These are very important. These just make it so you can move. Super stamina drinks fully restores all units. So everybody that you've used, all their stamina will get restored. The stable drops, we're going to go over this later. And then the Whale Maw I would buy just because I think it's exclusive to the shop. Maybe a couple EX bosses, I don't know. But then start buying Mystikas. Just start with the 5s or the 4s, depending on whatever you're on. Get your LB stones if you want them. I'd say definitely get the unit and the support because they're very useful. So buy your 4s, then buy your 5s, buy some 6s, just work your way up. But definitely get these 4, and then don't worry about any of these. You get tons of them just by playing the game. It would just be a waste. Like, just buy these last. Alright, and then we're going to go to areas. So, in area 46, this is when you start to get 5 stars. There's a very small chance, but it goes up over time. And then area 87 is when you start to get 6 stars. This is going up super slowly. So this is at 87. It's right there. And then if I go all the way to 129, it's only moved that much, which is kind of crazy. But I'm hoping eventually I can get it to like all 6s or like half 5s and half 6s. That would be really nice. That just might take a while. But and then for the common Mystica themselves, if you start on 5s and 10s, so multiples of 5, you're going to get an even spread of the Mystica. Right here, even spread. And then on 6s and 1s, you're going to get more Bio Mystica than anything. And then on 7s and 2s, you're going to get more Flora Mystica than anything. On 8s and 3s, you're going to get more Elemental Mystica than anything. And then on 9s and 4s, you're going to get more Metal Mystica than anything. And the way you get them is you just go in here, you move, and boom, you get some Mystica. I got lucky. I got some 6-star. That's nice. But the only difference between that and when you fight a boss, there's a chance of getting AP refunded, and you get coins when you fight the boss. So like if I wanted to switch this to every 1 tile, now every time I fight a boss, I'm gonna get some Mystica. And then I'm also going to get coins for the exchange. And maybe some AP refunded. Maybe some, I think you can get large pots and stuff like that. And now we're going to go over here to the Fusion, the Mystica list, the unique. Right here, these bottom 5, if you're wondering how to get these, I'm going to show it up on the screen right now. The first one is Valzen Death. That's how you get the Thanatos one. The second one, you get the Thanatos from Valzen Death and the Kraken Skull. And then from Belgiris, you get the Kronos glyph and the Glint Bracelet, which is the healing one. The Kraken Skull is the physical one. Glint Bracelet is the healing. And then from Redacne, you get the Dominion and you get the Weathered Crown, which is for a magic equip. And then from Flogasa, you get Energy and the Mach Beak, which is probably the best 5-star in the whole thing. The weapon that this thing crafts is nuts. I'll show you it later because I already have a couple. I think I have one. I made a couple, but I salvaged them. And then Arugrax's, I think that's how you pronounce his name. The ice dragon. He drops the vital ones and the broken watch, which is for the support equip. And then for all of these, the stable drop, the discreet mystica, the stones, and the runes are all going to come out of the chests in Grand Battle. So, menu, map. These chests right here are going to have those in them. There's also a chance of you getting AP pots or, like, trash common mystica. Like, you might get 1 stars and 2 stars out of these, which, I mean, is just a little bit of gambling. If you get, like, a large rune, it's going to be crazy. But you might just get a tier 1 mystica, and then it's just bad. Alright, and then we're going to go to fusions. The quickest way to get to fusions is just click on the equip. It's right there. So, first, there's levels. These levels right here. And if I go right here, you will unlock level 2. Well, you unlock, like, tier 2 at level 5, tier 3 at 14, tier 4 at 33, tier 5 at 57, and tier 6 at 108. So when one of these levels, right now my defense level is at 119, when one of them gets to that indicated level, you'll unlock this. So once you get one of these tiers to level 108, you'll have all of these unlocked. And then next up is converting the common mystica. So you click on the mystica list, and then right here you can do the same thing. This is like the same thing as crests. You click on it, convert, turn 10 into 1. I would only do this on 1, 2s, and 3s. I would keep all your 4s, 5s, and 6s, because 4s can craft 4 stars, 5s will craft 4 stars or 5 stars, and 6s will craft 5 stars or 6 stars. So keep all 3 of these just because there's a chance of getting a 4-star with these ones, and there's no real point in converting it. But these 3 are kind of useless. You don't really need 3-star equips. And then next is the selecting of the common mystica. So if I wanted to start fusion, and I'm just going to go right here into the 4 stars, the tier 4s. The best way to get a physical is 10 metal, 10 of the red ones. And then the best way to get a magical is 10 elementals. Boom. And then the best way to get a heal equip is 10 floral. Boom. The best way to get a defense equip is 5 metal and 5 bio. Right there in the middle, the most defense you're going to get. And then the best way to get a support equip is going to be 6 bio and 4 flora, because it decreases the chance of you getting a defense. And then you can use unique mystica too. So the stable drop right here sets ability acquisition rate from crest fragments to 100%. So right here, crest fragments, you can select anything you want. It'll use 3 of the crest fragments. So if I wanted HP up, boom, select. And now it'll give the actual effect of the crest. Like not a lesser one, it'll just give max HP 500 up as a passive on the equip. So you put that there. And then if you wanted the 100% chance for it to be on the equip, you would use a stable drop. I don't know what the chance actually is. I feel like it's somewhere near 50, because I usually get it even if I don't use a stable drop. And then I would save all of these for 4s, 5s, and 6 stars equips. I wouldn't use discreet mystica on anything except the tier 6s. Stable drops, use these on items like you need that. Like I would use these on your Truth of Eternities. Like if you need Truth of Eternity, I wouldn't gamble with it. I would just use a stable drop and boom, you're guaranteed to get it. And then these Aurora Stones, these just increase the talent XP. So when you make something with an Aurora Stone attached to it, you're going to get more XP. And then this level right here is going to go up faster. And then the Force Runes, these are just going to give you a higher chance of getting like a physical, magical, defense, heal, or support equip, depending on which one you use. I would save the medium ones for tier 5s and tier 6s. And then I would use the small ones on maybe like tier 4s, tier 5s. And then I would save the large ones only for tier 6s. Just use these in conjunction with some of these to try and make some crazy equips. Like if I wanted a crazy support equip, I would use, well, first of all, I would be in tier 6. And then I would use 6 of these, 4 of these, and then I'd go to unique mystika, and I would select a large support equip rune. I'll just use a medium one. And then I would also select a energy glyph, because either energy or astral is going to be really good on the supports, because those are the arch-standing ones. So if I wanted a really good equip, I would go boom boom and then begin, and hopefully I'll get a support equip. If I don't, tragic. But this is, like, I've been really unlucky with this. Like, this should definitely be a support equip, and sometimes I'll just get a magic equip, and I'm like, what? But it happens. And now we're going to go to the glyph sheet. So once you're in here, click on Vena's Guide. Scroll over. This is just everything I already went through. And then right here, this is the glyph sheet. This is all of the different glyphs and what they do. So right now, the only ones that you can actually get in the game that I know of are Astral, Energy, Dominion, Chronos, and Thanatos, and Vital. I don't know how to get Sense or Buster. Astral you get from the EX bosses, and then Energy you get from Flogasa, Dominion you get from Redacne, Chronos you get from Belgiris, Thanatos you get from Valzendeth, and Vital you get from Aerograxis. But I don't know where you get Sense or Buster from. I'm thinking they might be from like later bosses in different episodes of Grand Crusade that will come later. But honestly, I don't know. You can still like get equips with these, but you can't like get a unique Mystica to have a higher chance of putting Buster or Sense on the equip. You can do that with the rest of these. So make sure you're looking at this sheet and figuring out what you want. So if I was making a support equip, I would either want Astral or Energy, because that's going to give me my Arch Gauge. All of these, like, yeah, they're cool, but really, if you're using support equips, you want Arch Gauge. And then for my defense equips, I'm either going to want Energy, or I'm going to want Dominion on my taunt tanks. And then damage negation, blah, blah, blah. That, I think that's like just an extra shield, which is buns. Allied damage negation, that's just more shields, buns. Elemental damage taken down, yeah, these can come in handy sometimes, but they're so much harder to make than like a Dominion one or an Energy one. Alright, then we're going to go to the fusion equips. So right here, you're going to have 4 fusion equips. You should really only ever have 3, because then you can leave this slot open to keep making specialized equips. So with your specialized equips, if you go into Vena's Guide, right here, specialization, you can only specialize on units that are LB 6 or higher. They have 50 luck or more. They are Dream Awakened, or they are obtained from a trial event. So trial event, I'm pretty sure those are the bosses you kill, and then you get the unit of the boss, like regular Chloe. And then Dream Awakened, this is just awoken units you can Dream Awaken. And then 50 luck or more, they have to have 50 luck or more. And then LB6, these are the only 2 you can do on Ascended units. So if you want to specialize and equip to an Ascended unit, they either have to be LB6 or have 50 luck. As soon as you make one, I'm actually just going to make one right now. So start fusion. I'm going to make a 6-star just to be cool. I'm going to try for a support. So I'm going to hit him with that. And then I'm going to go medium and energy. And then I'm going to go crest fragments. And I'm going to put Arch Gauge up just so they get a little bit of an extra boost. And then we're going to hit begin. And we're going to pray that we get a nice 5-star support. Maybe even a 6-star. And just like that, we got a magic equip. See, I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea. Like, cool. But I didn't want it. Specializing right here. So I can put this on whoever I want. For now, I'm just going to put it on, like, Lucy. And then you can allocate stat points. So, like, I can put blah, 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 blah. do whatever you want. Usually you're just gonna go like attack if it's magic or physical, and then like HP if it's heal or support, defense if it's a defense equip. But you know, you can do whatever you want with it. And then be careful with this, because this equip can only be used on the unit you're specializing it to. So this unit is the only one who will be able to use this equip, and you cannot take it off. If you try to take it off, the only way to take it off is to salvage it. So you just have to completely get rid of it. Like, you can't take it back out and put it in your fusion equip slots and then put it on another unit. It will only ever be able to go on this unit, and the only way to take it off of this unit is salvaging it. So be very careful with who you actually put this on. And like, I don't care about this equip, so I'm probably gonna salvage it anyways. But boom, now it's on Lucy. Lucy is the only one who can use it now. And just to show you, I'm gonna salvage. This is how you raise your salvage level. The higher level something you salvage, the higher your salvage level will be. And eventually, if you get it higher and higher, you're gonna get more back from salvaging. So usually you only get one, but the higher your salvage level is, the higher chance you have of getting more and more back. So I usually get 2. And then these are all of the equips I've made. Some of them are kind of busted, like generates light units HP by 536 for 12 seconds, and autofills arts gauge by 4 for 12 seconds. It's a nice equip. As a heal equip, I put it on Mako just because light units, she's good on mono light. And then if you have Gamagori, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to get 3 separate. I have this one. This is the one I binded to Gamagori. Truth of Eternity. Boom. And then my fusion equips, I have a 5-star physical with Truth of Eternity and a 4-star defense with Truth of Eternity. I put them all on Gamagori, and as soon as he gets to near death, he is unkillable. He cannot die. He's busted. I'm going to make a video on it later. But yeah, and I unfortunately got magic damage taken down, which is kind of tragic. I wanted physical, but I did get arts gauge up, which is really nice. This just happens sometimes. Like, all the equips have this. Like, this is a Dominion equip, so it's going to have target, magic, or physical damage taken down. And then there's a chance of it just having, like, arts gauge up, skill CT, just anything. So, luckily I got arts gauge up, which is really nice, just because. And then, this was the first one I got, Crescent Charm. It's whatever. But the best 5-star, in my opinion, is the Vulture Cap. This is nutty. Like, what were they thinking? Dark damage up 110%. I think this goes up to like 140 or something. And then for 62 seconds, and it's stackable on a 52-second cooldown. So if you put this man on a team with SGL, like, there's at some points in the game where I'm going to have like 330% dark damage up from one equip. That's silly. That is so silly. This is my favorite new equip. Also, being able to have 4 Truth of Eternities on Gamagori is kind of busted. And then, in my opinion, the Insect Staff is probably the best 4-star heal. It just regens party HP by blah for blah. And then I did get the autofills arts gauge on this one too, which is really lucky. And then this one, I got a really good heal. I got a poison heal, and I got an instant heal, which is really lucky. So I just put those on Hoka and SGL. I'm gonna try and get support equips. A 6-star support equip for Hoka, and then a better magic equip for SGL. And hopefully that'll work. But yeah, I'm trying to get equips for everybody. But right now, I'm kind of poor. I'm gonna do 6 and 4. I'm gonna make a couple more support equips just to show you. Hopefully we get something. And like bro, that's a defense equip. Where's the support equip? This is my issue. They only have 4 common Mystika. So, like, why didn't they just do 5? So then there would be, like, if you put 10 physical ones, you get a physical. If you put 10 magical ones, you get magical. And then so on. Like, if I had 10 support ones, I would get a support equip. Like, why did they do this to me? Why is it so much harder to make defense and support equips? Makes me upset. I mean, this equip ain't that bad, but, like, I don't need it. Get it out of here. That's it on fusion equips. It's not that complicated. You just gotta figure it out. And we got one last. I ran out of mediums. Oh no, I'm gonna use a small. We got one last run for a crazy support equip. Come on. Come on. Alright, that's a heal equip. See ya!